All right, so we should now be live. I'll be monitoring the chat. Yep, and we are live. Okay, so we don't need, oh yeah, we do still need this. We have here a Raspberry Pi 5, the Raspberry Pi case. This is the Raspberry 5 8GB model, a 512GB NVMe. Now, on Mouser, these were originally 45 USD in November. In December, they went up to 86 USD without me realizing. Some Australian retailers still have the old price, so you got to shop around for that. Now, we're going to be using this SSD with the compact hat with the Raspberry Pi. Now, we already have the 47 watt charger. We have a Raspberry Pi 5, a Raspberry Pi monitor. This is a brilliant piece of kit, the keyboard and the mouse. We've already got this set up. All in all, it works brilliantly. This is now the fourth one that we're setting up. So I've learnt tips and tricks along the way. So now what I'm going to do is just bump up the brightness of this screen because it needs to be a bit on the brighter side. We'll bump up the contrast, bump up the saturation, exposure. It should already be good. Where's the brightness? White balance. Okay, there we are. Okay. Alright, we'll do that. Yep, looks good. Okay. Maybe, yeah, there we go. That looks more like it does for me. I want you to be able to see the details. Okay, let's chop it open. Where's my knife? Alright, it's over here. So we've got the case. Now this case comes with the fan and comes with a little heat sink to apply and feet. So we'll do the feet now, but actually we'll do the Raspberry Pi case. There we go. Right, so there's our heat sink and it just goes on this fellow. We can see that from here. Alright, so it's not perfectly aligned, it's a bit bigger. So, okay, actually, alright, there we go. That's pretty good. Okay. Let's do the feet now. Okay. Okay. So now we'll do the hat. The hat comes with some screws. Now the hat is quite a, depending on your technique for doing it, it'll either be easy or it'll be incredibly difficult. I did a a recording on my phone, ran out of space, so nothing ended up happening with it. But if you do it the wrong way, oh man, huge drama. So we just want a +1 Phillips, yeah, or maybe even a +0 Phillips. Let's see. +0 is too small. Or maybe J0. Let's try J0. No, J0 is not correct. So we want a +1. Yeah, just a +1 there. These are not magnetic. This is what makes it very difficult. So this is going to be the side that attaches to our board. So it will go like this. Now, what we want to do is we want to get these guys on now. So if you want to do before, I've tried all the different options. I've got this guy on first, and then I put these guys, secured it to the case, and then I've tried getting that on, but then it's a real difficulty with the fan and with this guy here. So what we want is we want to probably get the fan on now, which is going to be this guy here. Yeah, we'll just get him out. Alright, so this fan, get you, tuk, 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 tuk. Alright, that's a lot easier doing it this way. Alright. Whoop, be careful you don't press any of these guys like that guy. Alright. So this guy actually goes, yeah, there we go, like that, this way. Alright, now we want to get these guys in. So maybe the easiest way, now we've got 3 long ones. These go into the case, so we don't want to use them now. So let's try it like this. Alright, that was easy peasy. Now, as soon as you feel any resistance, stop screwing, okay? Before I did a bit of resistance, but then depending on your strength, you'll then bust the thread. So as soon as you feel any resistance, stop screwing. Okay. Okay. And now our last guy. So now we'll get this guy on here. Actually, we'll do this cable first. So this guy here, you can't actually go in all the way, right? So there will be some bronze or copper stuff still showing when you go in. Let's see if we can see that. Okay, maybe you can see, I don't know. But let's, there we go. Let me bump the brightness up a lot. There we go. So, see, we can, it actually isn't possible to go in all the way, okay? So when it's down, it won't actually go in all the way. So you want to go until you don't feel like you get the resistance, like it doesn't go anymore. So that's going to be that. Now you want to apply it with even pressure. If you apply on one side, it'll end up being crooked like this. Okay? I apologize for not having a better camera here. So once we get it in like that, we're now gonna press. Actually, you know what? It's gonna be better to put this guy on. So the reason we do it like this is we can make sure these line up correctly. If you're not doing that, like if you do these size with attach it to the board first, you're going to have a drama trying to align these. But doing it like this, it's easy peasy to align that. And you again just press evenly to get it down. Now it does require quite a bit of force. Don't worry about that. Alright, so this is the tricky part. So again, it can't go in all the way, so we're just gonna go as far as we can, make sure it's all even, and then even force, and that's what it'll look like. So you'll probably have, as long as it's even, is what you're gonna want. And I guess there's maybe like 3 millimeters of bronze sticking out. That's fine. Okay. So now we'll get this guy in. Yep, nice and secure there. Now we need to take this guy off to make sure this cable, this fan cable, is out of the way. But we've forgotten something, which is our NVMe. So let us do our NVMe now. Okay. Now this guy is gonna go in at like a 45-degree angle. So it'll be like this. And it's gonna be a bit of force, but not too much, okay? Just wiggle, wiggle, just like that, okay? And it's gonna be at this angle. That's the angle you want, all right? And there we go. It's nice and in. Let me bump that brightness down now a bit. There we go. So, should have taken the screw out before, but that's okay. There's enough room. and it is not magnetic either. So, but now we just press this guy down, put that screw back in. Let me give you an angle like that. Doing this with my left hand because otherwise you won't see anything if I do it with my right hand. Alright, so the first bit of resistance you want to stop. Alright, so we took this off now, so we can see that otherwise the fan cable is going to be in the way. We just want to move it out of the way as we put this in. Now when you put it in, it's going to be sliding in this way. Be careful not to scratch the cable there. You just want it just towards the end, and we're just going to slide this guy out. If you have a spudger like this or whatever, that's also going to be a good option to get that guy in there. Alright. Okay. Feels like something. Oh, we've forgotten to do our long screws. So it's this one, and this one. That's fine. Alright, so first bit of resistance you want to stop. The first bit of resistance. Okay. For some reason it's not clicking. Alright, now it's clicked. Okay. So now this guy in. Again, this one, it's... Hey! We're still not clicking correctly. Why? What's going on? Maybe the case is defective. It should be clicking. I'm guessing this case is defective. It's unfortunate. Out of these cases that I've had, let's see if the black one clicks. Okay. This fan situation is going to be a bit of a... There's definitely less give on these compared to my black one. This one, the fan though, doesn't work. It's annoying. So gonna have to tape that. Alright, but hopefully you won't have this issue. Let me get the electrical tape. So yeah, I had a black one which fan didn't work, or rather is really noisy fan, and now we've got one where the case doesn't lock. So okay. 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 I'll just trim that little bit here. Make it obvious where the seam is. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so now what we want is we want a SD card already formatted with Raspberry Pi OS, and that is unfortunately not in there. Which, unfortunately, means I have no idea where it is. Hopefully, it's just this guy and I didn't vacuum it earlier when I was cleaning. Alright, so let's now go over here and plug our guys in. Okay. Yep, and that is not the SSD. There isn't anything on that guy. Oh no, wait. Oh no, good. It isn't. Okay. I guess it was just the first boot. So let me now share. And we want background. Go. So I've already installed the latest Raspberry Pi imager. So that's what we're going to be doing here. So it's a Raspberry Pi 5. This one, I want to experiment with installing Raspberry Pi Fedora on the SSD. So we're gonna just try that. Fedora Cosmic Spin. Normally you would say Raspberry Pi OS. Now the latest one we have to is uncheck that and we select our drive. But for this one I'm going to go and try this one. So we want live ISO raw. Raw will be if it's going directly onto the SD card or to the NVMe. ISO will be if it's going to be a USB boot device. And we're an ARM Arch64 system here. Okay. So Raspberry Pi Imager, as we can see from my prior searches, it has a issue currently with version 2 where the customizations do not apply to the NVMe. Alright, so that's now complete. I don't know why it's still saying about a second there. Alright, we're now complete. So if you're selecting your own one, you're going to say use custom. Now that should have gone to downloads. Here we go. Let's try that. Next, storage, show system drives. We want this guy. We need to type it out. All right, continue. And I guess because we did a custom one, where it's not giving us any customization options at all. Now, we might want to just see the RPi EEPROM update because usually we have to do that. Yeah. So probably don't want to do that while we're, and I probably didn't want to cancel that there. So yeah, I think I've just nuked this. All right, oh no, it's still going. let's just cancel the write and we'll do this now. Alright, there we go. So that went from 13th of June to 8th of December. Now let's write that. Okay. If you're selecting Raspberry Pi OS, this one's going to be quicker. It's just that this Fedora image is a lot larger. Alright, so that's done, and let's reboot it. Well, actually we need to shut down. Now that it's removed, shut down, we can take out the Raspberry Pi SD card. Now if we turn it on, it should now boot from the NVMe. and we're not getting anything. So yeah, the Fedora one is unfortunately not an option. Let's try putting it onto a monitor here. Yeah, no, nothing. Alright, so we're just gonna turn it off and we'll put Raspberry Pi OS on it. Okay. All right. Let me just share screen then. Okay. Continue. Yeah. Skip customization. No customization should apply because it doesn't work. All right, and now we're going to be running that. Alright, we'll just wait for that to finish writing. Now, one interesting thing, this is probably going to be, yeah, GitHub Desktop Plus. I click install and then I'll just pop up again and want to, it will be the same deal. And like it fails to update and it just keeps wanting to do it again. Alright, so we're going to shut down. Alright, let's get back to the video. Alright, we're now shut down. That is red. Take the SD card out, turn it on. And we are now in Raspberry Pi OS. And that's the installer. Boom. So I'm gonna turn that off, and that's it for this one. So let's shut that down. And yeah, that's gonna be, I guess I'll give you, just to show you this connected to the Raspberry Pi, what that's like. So there we go. So this is with the 27 watt power. I don't know how many watts it actually needs, but it can be powered at 50% brightness just from the USB. You can use USB-A to USB-C. So it's great. It looks, it's because the viewing angle, I guess, but, or I don't know why it's so blue, but it's a really great monitor. Really happy with it. So we'll now turn that off, and that'll be it for the stream. Hopefully people found the tips about installing the NVMe good, and I'll probably send this video to Mouser to get the defective case sorted. Alright, thanks for hanging out, and I will see you another time. Bye bye.